They cheated.
Empty calories. That's what I would call his choice of women.
Got caught.
Oops. All we want him to do is get a hole in 1, and he got a hole in 10.
And now it's time to put these dirty dogs in the pen.
Winning.
Beat him like he's a piñata and, watch the bull come out.
From sneaky celebs and perverted politicians.
I want to create more jobs and babies for California.
To men we just can't stand. No one's getting a free pass.
Today I'm announcing my resignation.
So strap on your boots or steel-toe stilettos, because we're counting down the top 20 guys you want to kick in the ball. And the kicking starts now.
He should be kicked in the... He should have his removed.
Leading men, action heroes, sports legends, rock stars. We love them for their larger-than-life personalities and their good guy personas. So when these pop culture phenoms make bonehead choices, disappointed fans can't help but want to give them a swift kick in the balls.
Charlie Sheen is the poster boy for, we're kind of secretly rooting for him to get back on track. We want him to have a career again.
I'm sick of seeing all these men cheat. I say all us women should join together in infidelity.
They say that 95% of all sex addicts are men. There's the problem right there. If women would step up to the plate and meet us halfway and help us out, balance things out, maybe there wouldn't be a problem.
Kicking off our countdown at number 20 is a former U.S. politician who served the public in more ways than one. At number 20, it's Twittering Twit, Anthony Weiner.
So today I'm announcing my resignation from Congress.
I don't know how he's going to recover from this or what his second act is going to be, but you can't brush off the name Weiner.
You also can't brush off pictures you upload to the internet, but that still didn't stop Mr. Weiner from accidentally pushing his bill through legislation.
I think he thought it was cool, like, look at my package, I'm taking a picture, I'm using Twitter, I'm so hip, but it's like the minute you tweet it to everybody instead of the one person you're trying to tweet it to, you make yourself look like an old guy.
Oh, my account's been hacked, but I don't want to tell the authorities. I'll have my private investigators look into it, into my privates.
It wasn't me. Oh, okay, so a nudist burglar broke into your house. And while they were robbing all the china, they thought, maybe I should get on Twitter and tweet this photo of me in this rich person's house. And good thing I happen to look like him from the cheekbones down.
Adding insult to injury, Weiner was sharing his wiener while his wife of less than a year, Uma, was pregnant. Good thing she works for Hillary Clinton. She's gonna need all the I've been betrayed advice she can get.
I'm here today to again apologize for the personal mistakes I have made and the embarrassment I have caused.
The headlines were far too easy. Weiner probe expands. Weiner gives new meaning to the term junk mail. Politically and literally, Weiner leans to the left.
He definitely 100% thought he could get away with it because he's stupid. Stupid people think they get away with things. That's how I look at it. He thought he was good.
Like, if you want to impress us, send us a picture of your paycheck. Get us excited and get us going.
From a freaky father-to-be to a father who knows best, who also happens to be a fame-hungry ex-convict who uses his kid to get as much media attention as possible. At number 19, it's Michael Lowen.
People want to kick Michael Lowen in the because he's a total fame whore and he spawned Lindsay Lohan. That's reason enough.
Now that Lindsay has grown up and become a total mess, he's all of a sudden got all the answers of how she should have been raised differently, but it's never his fault.
Me and my dad like to watch pay-per-view movies and eat popcorn, and they like to do blow and talk bad about their mom in front of television.
I think it's about time that Dina step aside as a manager and be a mom.
He vows in the press to stop talking about his daughter in the press, and then he goes on numerous press shows talking about how he's making this vow to stop talking about his daughter in the press.
But the moratorium on Lindsay talk didn't stop him from penning a ridiculously cheesy soft rock ballad dedicated to his estranged daughter.
If you need me, dear, my love for you is a lie.
I seriously would rather be trapped in a coffin reading the Unabomber's manifesto than having to listen to 5 seconds of Michael Lowen's love song to his daughter.
How could you ever have a chance in life when that's your father? That's embarrassing.
It's not just politicians and deadbeat dads who get a bad rep. This next Hollywood leading man had a squeaky clean image until one little slip-up. In at number 18, Jude Law.
Jude Law taught us that you can't hire a hot nanny, because if you do, your guy's gonna sleep with the hot nanny. So now all of these really cute young girls are out of a job because Jude Law had to have sex while he was with Sienna Miller.
The British blokes seem to have it all. A gorgeous fiancé, beautiful kids, and a skyrocketing career. But he quickly became a tabloid favorite when temptation got the best of him while traveling with his kid's 26-year-old nanny.
If they're there, your man will have sex with them. So no nannies, none. There aren't enough nanny cams that would let me trust a nanny.
I just think these guys have such an invincibility that they're above the law, they're above ethics, they're above moral standards, and they think they are going to get away with it. And that's why they do it.
5 years after the very public breakup, the smoking hot couple were once again hot and heavy. But once again, it didn't last.
Jude Law's sexy. Jude Law's talented. And so clearly he's got something going on where it makes women want to be with him.
Reality shows are never lacking when it comes to sleazebags and cheeseballs. But one beachside beefcake manages to take it to a new level. Number 17, Mike Sorrentino.
The Situation, as we know, is part of that ragtag bunch of dreamers called the Jersey Shore Kids.
The Italian stallion from the MTV hit makes our list for his self-coined moniker, The Situation, which he named after his own favorite asset, his abs.
I feel like he gives every kid in America hope. All you have to do is work out and be a completely ridiculous character. The guy's a multi-millionaire now. He did that out of nothing.
The Jersey Shore's Mike the Situation is the male version of Paris Hilton. He's talentless, self-absorbed, and an unnatural shade of spray tan.
That's all he's known for is his six-pack. So seriously, he's a pizza before bed away from no one ever talking about him again. That's the situation.
And despite being the butt of jokes the world over, this self-proclaimed Guido is all about gym, tan, and ladies.
When he says these ridiculous things to girls and does them, you just have to laugh. They know what they're getting into.
A kick in the Look, with all those steroids, does he have any left? Or have they just retreated back up into his body?
The Situation isn't the only cocky and egotistical showman who somehow scores with women. This next guy on our list lands Hollywood's hottest gals, even after crowing about his sexual exploits.
I'm kind of an ass.
It's lovable crooner turned uncouth creep. At number 16, John Mayer.
By all the talent, you must be referring to me. We'll get back on the mic. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a discourse.
I think we hate John Mayer because he was supposed to be the ultimate playboy, and now we just see that he's the ultimate D-bag. I mean, this guy is so bad that he had to take himself down off Twitter. He messed up 140 characters so many times that he had to yank down his own account.
It's so unfair that you should have money, people coming to your shows, people asking you, what's next from you? No, people don't go around going, what's next out of you?
John Mayer needs to learn that we don't need to hear him speak.
John Mayer went out with a few girls. I mean, you know, he went out with Jennifer Aniston and Jessica Simpson. And every time he went out with these girls, he had something to say about them after he dated them. Then he should get kicked in his for that.
It's nothing different for me to tell all. You know, I don't really have that many secrets that I keep.
He said of Jessica Simpson, she's like sexual napalm. Is that a compliment? She was like sexual rat spray.
The whole kiss and tell thing, seriously? How old are you? Really, dude? Like, it's bad.
It's something that an 18-year-old boy would do. It's like high school. Like, are you really? Are you serious?
Don't kiss and tell. It's cheesy. He's too handsome and too talented. He doesn't need to be a gum flapper on top of that. Maybe he doesn't need to be kicked in the but he could use a flick in the
I'm so afraid I'm on girls I don't even drink.
And you know what's even worse? The women that hook up with him after they read what he says about the past one or the last one or whatever.
He's so cute, so women sleep with him anyway.
Zing!
Coming up,
Come on, D-bag. You just exposed yourself.
We'll reveal which two-timing Hollywood hotshot deserves to get another organ removed.
But I think it is just bad etiquette to cheat on the person who saves your life.
And later,
naked pictures of your stepdaughter, you weirdo.
The movie maker whose camera work got way too creepy. When we return with more guys you want to kick in the Welcome back to Guys You Want to Kick in the It takes a massive ego and an even bigger mouth to make it in the rap game. But this guy took those traits to cringeworthy extremes at MTV's 2009 VMAs. At number 15, Kanye West.
Taylor Swift is up accepting an award for, best porcelain skin or whatever her award was. Who knows? And Kanye West interrupts her speech, grabs the statue, and basically says, Beyonce should have won.
Thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
I think Kanye West chose the wrong girl to pick on. Taylor Swift is America's teeny bopper sweetheart, and to grab the mic away from her, it's like, come on, you just exposed yourself.
He's so tough. He jumped up on stage and wrestled the microphone away from an 18-year-old girl.
If somebody's winning something, you get an award for it, people are happy for her, you come up there and try to destroy her, that's classless. That's no class.
He was drunk. Alcohol makes you think you can do anything.
Kanye's behavior was so bad, it reached presidential proportions. Even the leader of the free world couldn't help weighing in.
He's a jackass.
I think that's dope. I am the most respected artist in the game. I can get to know higher pinnacle in music.
It's okay to detain your fleeting insights. Keep them in here. Keep them in your mouth. Don't say them. I think he's never going to live that down. So he screwed his own self. He kicked his own.
There's my great outro.
Comedians are supposed to make us laugh, not gasp in horror. When this once celebrated joker cheated on his wife after she literally saved him from death, no one found it funny. Number 14, George Lopez.
I want to thank Anne, my wife, for saving my life and loving me.
George's wife Anne graciously donated her kidney to him when a genetic disorder caused his own kidneys to take a header. But fans were floored by George's odd way of thanking her.
I think it is just bad etiquette in the transplant world to cheat on the person who saves your life. One girl's opinion.
You should never give a man an organ. Never, unless he's your best friend or he's your gay BFF. Like, you just can't trust a man with anything these days, especially not a kidney.
George Lopez was like, I got the kidney. It's on and popping. I'm gelling my hair, and I got girls now.
Look, it takes work to be the object of mass seduction.
This woman has to go around with one organ in her body now, knowing this guy has the other one and, making a fool out of her.
George Lopez should go back in the hospital laying on his back, and his wife should take the kidney out and put it right back where it belongs, because that does not deserve it.
Oh yeah, I'll take my wife's kidney, thank you. Oh, she gave me the gift of life. Kicking him.
He is so lucky I was not his wife, because he really would have like a hole where the kidney lays.
She left him. Good for her. I hate when they stay. No. Goodbye.
That was a cold snap.
Dumping your wife after she gives you a body part is pretty low, but not quite as bad as scamming thousands of retirees and charities out of $20 billion. The evil mastermind behind the biggest Ponzi scheme in history is our number 13, Bernie Madoff.
He took money from lots of people, including famous people like Kevin Bacon, Kira Sedgwick. They invested a lot of money with him through their charities and their own personal funds.
Other celebs swindled by the scam include Steven Spielberg, Larry King, and John Malkovich.
I don't know who I'm more angry with when I think of this story. Him for going through with this Ponzi scheme, or everybody else acting like they didn't know that during the years when they made way more money than everybody else, that they didn't question it.
A guy named Bernie comes up to you and says, yo, give me $1 million, I'll give you $2 million tomorrow. There's a scam going on there because nobody can pay 100% interest overnight. You know, and he was making these huge extravagant promises, and it turns out to be a giant Ponzi scheme.
He brought down empires. People were having their charity money managed by him. He screwed so many people. We are not done feeling the tremors from that earthquake.
In 2009, Madoff was sentenced to 150 years for his crimes. But prison bruised more than just the snake oil salesman's ego.
They tried to say Bernie Madoff fell out of his bunk in prison. He got the crap beat out of him. But you know what? They were messing with the wrong end. They should have been kicking his butt.
The only thing more disturbing than a sweaty muscle man in tights is a sweaty muscle man in tights who marries his own daughter's doppelganger. At number 12, Hulk Hogan.
You maniacs! Hulk Hogan here, the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan has this really weird thing with his daughter and her boobs and the way she looks. And he always had, like, the first season of Hogan Knows Best was kind of cute because it was Hulk and his 2 blonde kids and this weird drag queen who would... Oh, wait, never mind. That was Linda Hogan. I always get the story confused.
All the women in his life look just like him. They're tan with blonde hair. And he started dating a girl who looks just like his daughter, which isn't creepy at all.
It was a big deal for me. It made me feel young again.
In December of 2010, the Hulkster actually tied the knot with the lookalike who was 20 years his junior.
It's just a marriage made in heaven. Did I say marriage? Yikes! Woo!
I can see why he would be attracted to her. I don't see how the reverse is true.
Can you imagine, though, like, being in bed with him? He's just slamming you down, you know, just very romantic and aggressive. All sweaty and muscular and, like, yelling things out, like, yeah, you know what Hogan's bringing you. I don't know what his, like, saying is.
Hulkamaniacs need rip-away underwear so people know where to kick them.
Just another victory for the Hulk.
Up next, it's a familiar story in Hollywood.
I found someone younger and with more money.
But find out why in this love triangle, this guy we want to kick isn't the only one we're putting on blast. Welcome back to Guys You Want to Kick in the What do you get when you take a lovable actor, one hooker, and the LAPD? A scandal of Hollywood proportions. In at number 11, Hugh Grant.
Someone should kick Hugh Grant in the because of what the hooker looked like. If you're gonna cheat, make the girl like worthwhile.
The beloved bumbling Brit wasn't cheating on just anybody. It was his longtime girlfriend and film beauty, Elizabeth Hurley.
He's just happened to be engaged to one of the hottest women on the planet. What that does to a girl's self-esteem, to think that they're one of the hottest women on the planet, and then yet their significant other has to go to a dime store hooker.
What made him go out on the streets and pick up a prostitute? I mean, I don't know. A lot of guys do this stuff, and I can't understand it when they have a beautiful wife at home. They need a prostitute.
Every guy pays for sex, just in different ways. I'm married 23 years. I've paid with my life. I've paid with my soul. Every guy out there pays for sex, just different ways.
But it takes more than a tryst with a prostitute to dethrone the king of romantic comedies.
I'll just watch him in anything, even like an arrest photo.
Years later, Grant got revenge against one of the tabloids who profited from his illicit encounter. He helped expose News of the World's false reporting and illegal phone tapping, making Hugh an unexpected hero.
He's from Europe. It's different over there. They have different rules and things.
On this side of the pond, cheaters don't get a pass, especially when they star in a reality show with their wife and 8 freaking kids. In at number 10, John Gosselin.
In order to kick John Gosselin in the I would have to find Kate Gosselin and then find her purse and rummage through the purse in order to find his.
The doting, if not dim-witted father of 8 went from a likable lug to one of America's most hated when tabloids caught him messing around behind wife Kate's back.
What kind of a jerk do you have to be to really make Kate look sympathetic in this scenario?
You watch the show, and sometimes you might feel bad for John. Kate's a very strong personality, and you know this guy's thinking, how did I wake up and there's 8 little people in my house?
If he could have just kept it together and kept Kate happy, imagine the franchise. They could have 8 more kids. They could adopt Octomom's kids, and it would be John and Kate plus. What would we be? Okay, 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 6 more is 22. John and Kate plus 22.
If I had 8 kids and I was 33, I'd be afraid to have sex with anybody ever again for fear of having a 9th or a 10th.
I love it though because he's always wearing Ed Hardy. Like I know that you were just covered in baby puke earlier this morning, you know, and now you're like trying to be cool and hip.
The only thing possibly worse than stepping out on your wife and 8 kids is leaving your girlfriend when she's 7 months pregnant. At number 9, Billy Crudup.
Billy Crudup worked on a movie with Claire Danes, and he basically said, I found someone younger and with more money, so I'm leaving you.
Billy's girlfriend, actress Mary Louise Parker, came out on top, but it couldn't have been easy.
I guess he's not into women who are pregnant. It's not what he's into. There's nothing like telling your kid that story, you know, to make them like really love their dad. Well, he left me when I was 7 months pregnant, all by myself.
Mostly I just hold it against him that I had to see Stage Beauty on a flight, and it was terrible.
But the backlash from the press and public wasn't only aimed at Billy. Claire Danes' image went from squeaky clean young actress to homewrecker when the affair was exposed.
I'm actually shocked that more men don't leave pregnant women because they get a little nutty.
On the way,
this guy actually allowed himself to be filmed on TV, mistreating women.
From reality stars to Oscar winners, the biggest offenders are still to come.
I want to create more jobs and babies for California.
We'll be back with more guys we want to kick in the... Welcome back to Guys You Want to Kick in the... In English slang, calling someone a prat means they're a jerk, which makes our next tool the most appropriately named guy on the countdown. At number 8, Spencer Pratt.
I hate Spencer Pratt so much.
Beat him like he's a piñata and, you know, watch the bullshit come out.
On the MTV show The Hills, Spencer was the ultimate reality TV villain. He spent half his time mistreating his then-girlfriend Heidi Montag, like when he drove to Vegas to sabotage her career.
Sorry to interrupt this dinner, but have a moment with you outside.
I got the stalker thing down pat.
Yeah. Days and you're moving to Vegas. I could not have you living in Vegas.
And when he wasn't manipulating Heidi, Spencer kept busy by being rude to her friends and family.
Good morning.
Why don't you mind your own business?
This guy actually allowed himself to be filmed on TV, mistreating women, encouraging plastic surgery, basically taking a nice girl from Colorado and turning her into this manipulated, weird-looking Barbie doll.
Everybody wants the crown now because they saw how great Spidey did with the crown. Now they're like, I want that villain crown.
Spencer started to believe and buy into his own BS. He was playing this character and it just kind of escalated and he just ran with it.
At this point, Spencer thinks he's Jesus. He thinks he can like walk on water, turn water into wine. He's untouchable at this point.
Only getting more drama-packed as we speak.
And then we put them on a show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
I'm too rich, I'm too famous, I'm out of here.
Go away. Go back to Costa Rica and go to the jungle and stay there.
No way.
No.
Thankfully, America put a very short shelf life on them, and people are going, Spencer who?
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
I hope that she gets testicles surgically implanted, because we know she's a big fan of the plastic surgery, so that we can all kick them in the collective.
This schmuck takes the phrase, keeping it in the family, to a whole new level of creepy. At number 7, it's Woody Allen.
I think Woody Allen should turn his in. Forget just kicking him.
May-December romances are nothing new in Hollywood. But when it came out in 1992 that the then 56-year-old Allen was dating the 22-year-old adopted daughter of his girlfriend Mia Farrow, the public was outraged, and they still are.
That should be my biggest problem.
She found photos that Woody Allen had taken of her naked. I can just picture him like directing her, like, now, touch your breast, not so much, yeah.
Woody Allen, don't take naked pictures of your stepdaughter, you weirdo. Mia Farrow should have given him a swift kick in the back then.
She wrote a biography about the whole thing called What Falls Away, which probably had something to do with Woody's inability to get a boner.
And Mia is like a whole child advocate. I mean, she brought Soon Yi over to help her from a life of oppression. I think dating Woody Allen is more oppressive.
Despite their 34-year age difference, Woody and Soon-Yi were married in 1997 and are still together.
She makes me look good.
Oh, the whole thing is so sick. It's like an Asian Jewish version of Lolita. But tell him I want to work with him. Don't let him see this.
You should get kicked in the. You should. By all of America. We all take a number. We do it at the deli.
Artistic types are all a little freaky. And let's face it, so are a lot of politicians. But it takes a real idiot to make cheating on his wife the classiest part of the scandal. At number 6, John Edwards.
Politicians having affairs are like gay teenage boys. Eventually they're going to come out.
He had a beautiful family. He had the world by the and now we're all kicking him in the because he it all up.
Less than a decade ago, John Edwards was considered the future of the Democratic Party. Handsome, energetic, and with a history of fighting for the underdog. But he lost it all when he couldn't keep it in his pants.
To cheat on your wife is one thing, but to cheat when your wife is dying of stage 4 cancer, special type of asshole. Truly, truly special.
I don't talk about these tabloids, and tabloid trash is full of lies.
But it only gets worse because Edwards fathered a child with his former campaign worker, Riel Hunter, but denied the kid was his for 2 years.
Even the guys who should get kicked in the deserve to kick this guy in the just for making them look a little better by comparison.
I don't know any women that love John Edwards. None. Not even his mistress's baby mama. No, never gonna come back from that. It's just so wrong on so many levels.
Besides losing his public acclaim and glowing reputation, Edwards is also taking a financial hit. He was ordered to repay $2.3 million in campaign contributions. And there might be more penalties if it's proven he used campaign funds to cover up his affair.
John, you blew it. You will not be president of the PTA. You will not be head of the Little League. No one wants you to oversee anything, you selfish prick.
If you think these guys are bad news, wait till you see who weaseled his way into a top 5 spot on our list.
If you can get that many people angry at you at one time, that is a phenomenal achievement.
The leading man who plummeted from hero to hated. Next. Welcome back to Guys You Want to Kick in the Ball. We could do a whole show about why this guy needs a good, swift kick in the. At number 5, Charlie Sheen.
He's been a bad boy for a long time, and it all started with the Heidi Fleiss girls and the Black Book.
It seems like we've been watching Charlie circle the drain forever, but in just the last year, he hit the train wreck trifecta, losing custody of his children, going in and out of rehab twice, and getting fired from 2.5 Men.
Charlie Sheen was making $2 million per episode. I would be a nun for that kind of money.
The one thing where I think Charlie really lost it, he started making fun of his producer. You know, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Of course, in his case, it should be don't bite, burn, piss, and vomit on the hand that feeds you.
You can't throw your little diva trip and then act like you're irreplaceable. You're not dipped in platinum, Charlie.
The funniest thing about replacing Charlie on 2.5 Men is that they tried to get Hugh Grant initially, and it was like they said, okay, where can we get an actor who likes hookers at half the price?
I hope that that show goes on and is bigger and better than it ever was with Charlie Sheen.
I heard that Chuck Lorre wanted to keep Charlie on the show, but he wanted to change the name of the show to 1.5 Men and an Ass.
I'm just glad to have survived all this.
In April, Charlie took the crazy on the road with his violent Torpedo of Truth tour. The truth was, it wasn't very good.
It was a torpedo of vomit. It was very tough. It was poorly produced, and with all that money, you'd think he could get a few good writers. It was basically him standing on stage in front of a podium saying, "What do you want me to talk about?"
What is crazier is that people actually spent money and were surprised that it wasn't very good.
Winning.
More like losing, and add using, boozing, and abusing in there as well.
I think Charlie Sheen drank too much of his own Kool-Aid, and he figured, I'm so rich, I don't even need to work.
He's a 45-year-old man with 5 kids and a bunch of ex-wives. If you met him at a casino, you'd think he was gross. You'd want to get away from him.
Charlie Sheen has sex appeal. Although I can say I've been this close to him, not so much anymore. He reminded me of my old uncle that you feel really bad for when you're younger. You're like, wow, uncle gets really hot women, and now it's just sad.
Speaking of sad, this next guy was once named the sexiest man alive. These days, he's perhaps the most sexist man alive. At number 4, Mel Gibson.
I don't think any women like Mel Gibson unless we're fashioning some kind of a voodoo doll or a piñata to his likeness.
Turns out the once worshipped screen star has a real lethal weapon, his mouth.
He's just an equal opportunity horrible person. You know, he's anti-Semitic, he's, you know, misogynistic, he's mean to cops. It's like he just is a mean person to everybody, it seems.
Things started going bad for Mel in 2006. He was pulled over for a DUI, but instead of exercising his right to remain silent, Mel opted to make anti-Semitic remarks to the arresting officer, while also sexually harassing the cop's partner.
The best thing to come out of the whole Mel Gibson fiasco was the word sugar tits. That's what he called the female cop when they were arresting him, sugar tits. That's what I call my wife now.
I'll be honest, if somebody called me sugar tits, I wouldn't be that offended. It sounds like a compliment. So if somebody was like, hey, sugar tits, well, hello.
Mel and his wife of 26 years separated the very next day, but divorce papers weren't actually filed until March of 2009, after photos showed Mel with Russian pianist Oksana Grigorieva.
I can't imagine who would ever want to subject themselves to that.
Mel and Oksana went public that April, had a daughter 6 months later, and split up 6 months after that. Then that July, recorded phone calls surfaced of Mel's racist and sexist rants at Oksana. Overnight, Mel went from Mad Max to stark raving Mad Max.
Whore, gold digger, you should just smile and hey, 'cause I deserve it.
Anytime you call her a don't be surprised if she doesn't want to you.
You don't usually hear screaming and ranting that crazy unless someone's pushing a shopping cart down Hollywood Boulevard.
Everyone wants to line up to kick Mel Gibson in the That is quite a gift. If you can get that many people angry at you at one time, that is a phenomenal achievement.
Mel Gibson is nowhere close to a comeback. I mean, they wouldn't work with him in The Hangover. If actors in Hollywood are saying, I'm not going to work with that jerk, you've pretty much buried yourself.
Now it's the torrid tale of what happens when you trade golf clubs for strip clubs. At number 3, the two-timing Tiger Woods. Late in 2009, golfer Tiger Woods, the world's highest-paid athlete and role model to millions with his squeaky clean family man image, got clubbed with allegations of infidelity.
His whole life has been all about the hole. It's always been about getting it in the hole.
They should put a giant M, like a golden arches above his bed for 1 billion women served.
I'm really hungry. Oh, by the way, I cheated with him. Me too, me too, me too, me too. It was just like, it was like a bad game of Pac-Man, and all of a sudden they all turned blue and started chasing him around.
But for many, the big shock wasn't the quantity of women, but the quality.
Empty calories. That's what I would call his choice of women.
They actually made an adult film after the whole scandal about Tiger Woods. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was called Tiger's Wood because White Chicks was already taken.
There's nothing good about that group of women. But I know sometimes it's dark in clubs. You don't know.
Yeah, Tiger, if you're going to throw your marriage away and throw your career away, at least do it with a good-looking woman. You know what I mean?
These women are so ripe for Gloria Allred to have her way with. She literally is a walking press conference waiting to exploit all of your text messages for financial gain. Go for it, Gloria. Kick him in the...
Now divorced, Tiger has lost millions, along with his mojo.
What Tiger should have done is come out and go, I nailed her, and her, and her, and her, and her, and her, how many of them there was. Just do it.
Just when you thought you heard it all,
he's worse than any of these guys.
We'll reveal the top 2 creeps we want to kick in the
Let's toss her aside for a Nazi sympathizer with tattoos and dicey gynecological records.
Why these cheaters shocked us with their betrayal and their choice in mistresses.
And I saw the woman who he slept with and I thought, well, my mom isn't even safe.
Welcome back to Guys You Want to Kick in the Our countdown has already covered A-list cheaters, exhibitionists, and reality wrecks. But there's still no match for our next brazen backstabber. At number 2, Jesse James.
Jesse James is the worst. He's worse than any of these guys.
I get to build motorcycles every day.
It's rad.
I can't stand him. He should be kicked in the, he should have removed.
You snake in the grass. You snake in the grass.
Jesse James played the doting husband as he escorted his then-wife Sandra Bullock to the 2010 Academy Awards. Days later, news broke that he had been sneaking around behind her back.
Here is this Oscar winner, this woman who was secretly adopting a beautiful baby, keeping it completely hush-hush. She could have been on the cover of Good Housekeeping talking about her story, but she kept it to herself. All the while, here's Jesse James having his sexual ways with women covered in swastikas.
Let's toss her aside for a Nazi sympathizer with tattoos and dicey gynecological records.
She calls herself a dancer, right? Yeah, if there's not a brass pole around, let's see her dance, okay?
Every guy loves a dirty skank. Sometimes I just won't shower and I'll just sleep around and the guys love it. They love it.
I think my favorite part about the Jesse James thing is that he went to sex rehab for a day and a half. He was kind of like, well, maybe this will work. And then he was like, oh, no, it's not working. All right.
What is working, according to Jesse, is his new relationship with reality star and tattoo artist Kat Von D. His exact words to People magazine were, "We have something special that I've never felt with anyone I've ever been with. She loves me like no woman ever has. 100%.
Jesse James had trust issues with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, right. And Kat Von D is the only woman he can trust. She broke Nikki Sixx's heart to be with Jesse James. Oh, she's so trustworthy.
But then to keep doing interviews and then to write a book and just keep putting the knife into Sandra's heart even more, it's unacceptable. He just needs to go away and ride his Harley into the desert and live there.
Look, Sandra Bullock, you can't hate Sandra Bullock. She's like Johnny Depp, like Tom Hanks, like Julia Roberts. One of these people you just love. But this guy leaves America's sweetheart for a woman covered in tattoos who are Nazi regalia. And she had tattoos on her neck. And that wasn't good enough for him. He left her for another woman who has tattoos. It's like a circus sideshow. Who's next? The bearded lady and the lobster girl? Who's he gonna do next?
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Our countdown has covered both cheating celebrities and politicians. But what happens when you combine the two? You get the Governor. At number 1, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I want to create more jobs and babies for California.
I would say, out of the entire list, I would kick Arnold Schwarzenegger in the
For decades, fans shrugged off Schwarzenegger's transgressions. After all, he was Conan, the Terminator, and Detective John Kimball. How bad could he be?
We've known that Arnold Schwarzenegger was a groper. We didn't realize he was an infiltrator.
The world was sort of shocked when news broke that Arnold fathered a child with one of his housekeepers. But somehow he kept it secret for over 14 years.
I don't know how it was a secret that that kid was his. If that kid had come out as a newborn with gap teeth in a Speedo, it could not have looked more like its father.
Not only are you cheating on me, but you're cheating on me with somebody who's at our house every day and, folding our bedclothes.
If I were Maria Shriver, I would have gone through the house and said, you have a vagina, you're fired. You have a vagina, you're fired.
It's crazy though because Arnold is a really well-known politician and he cheats on his wife, so he sounds more like a Kennedy than Maria.
Adding insult to Maria Shriver, his wife of 25 years, was his mistress's lack of sex appeal.
We all know the stories about you being a tomcat. But that's the beach you want to die on? Can't buy that woman a tooth?
You always think it's going to be this knockout with huge boobs, and then I saw the woman who he slept with, and I thought, well, my mom isn't even safe. I can't take her anywhere anymore.
Why should we take care of ourselves at this point? Also, why should we clean toilets anymore? That's a mistress's job.
This whole situation makes me mad for Maria. I mean, she was defending this guy.
We think he will be a terrific governor, but most important, he's a fantastic man.
And then in the end, he totally embarrassed her.
I love the fact that Maria left. I love that. I hate when they stay.
That wraps up Guys You Want to Kick in the Balls. For the latest in entertainment news, check out TVGuide.com.